Hi, everybody. I'm Rick, and I was a funeral director for over 35 years. I was also an embalmer, crematory operator, and I'm going to be answering some questions today. And this is my big brother, Randy, right over here.
I am indeed. And so today we're going to get right into a couple of questions. And of course, my job, well, what's Rick's job is to answer the questions that I'm asking. And I'm
Mhm.
asking your questions. And today we're going to go back to a subscriber. Her name is Jay. And Jay asked us a question. It was our second episode.
Yeah,
It was a great question because it stretched over from the second episode to the
yeah,
third
it did.
episode. So it
It
was
was
a
good.
really good question. Today, Jay kind of asked two or three little questions all together. The first part she wants to go, but before you answer the first part, I'm going to get to the second part. Jay asked us a question, and it's a three-parter, and she wants to know, she heard that you can place your body in the ground and plant a tree over it. Maybe. I could be wrong. I thought it was a way to have your remains to help a plant grow. I read the question originally as cremains, but I'm thinking she's talking about a green burial, is what she's talking
Yeah, that's
about,
what I'm going
Rick.
to talk about. Yeah.
Now, she also wants to know maybe we would consider doing a video on 20 on ways to dispose your remains. Well,
Hmm.
we have that already in the works. We haven't done the video yet, but we do have a little guide on that. Rick?
Yeah, we do. We've come up with actually, Randy came up with a guide with my help, of course. 25 ways that you can legally dispose of a human body. And Jay, we're gonna get that out to you. That's normally going to be part of Patreon, but because you were the first one to ask a couple of questions, Randy's going to take care of getting that out to you. And then eventually we're going to be making a video about that as well. But for now, if you'd like, Randy can reach out to you and get that to you.
Let's talk about Jay's question, sir. Green burial,
Okay.
because it really boils down to a green burial. So you got two ways that you could have. I'm going to call it a green burial: cremation and the body
Mhm.
in the ground. Let's
Right.
talk about the cremation way first. And is it really a green burial?
Well, it is a non-disruptive, can be considered a green burial, but I think really a green burial is at a green cemetery. And a green cemetery just means these are people who are placed in caskets that decompose quickly, in bodies that are not with bodies that are not embalmed, they return to the earth as quickly as possible. And there are certain cemeteries in every state. Unfortunately, this idea came out about 15 or 20 years ago, and I thought it was a great idea. I thought a lot of people would be interested in this, but it never really took off. There's not very many cemeteries that are green cemeteries. So you just have to look up in your local area, see if you have a green cemetery or not. And once you plant a casket into the ground, you can plant a tree. It will help, I guess, when it decomposes, the body will help to nourish the plants or the trees, but not cremains. Cremains would have no effect on that. There's nothing biological left that's going to benefit trees or plants. But a body, I think, would be. And if that's what you're looking to do, that's your best option is either a green cemetery, or if you have a private family cemetery, or maybe even a local cemetery that is an older cemetery that doesn't have very many regulations, or basically you'd have to just check with your local cemetery. The bigger cemeteries that you see that have an office there and that sort of thing, they're not going to let you do that probably. Memorial parks will not let you do that.
So if somebody came into a funeral home and said, "Hey,
Mhm.
this is what I want," and
Right.
you were still working, so you would know the cemeteries all
Mhm.
in the area because you probably went to all the cemeteries in the area, pretty
Yeah,
much.
we didn't have one in our area that would do
Okay,
that,
but you would know. You
except
would probably
a private cemetery.
she could go into her funeral home, her local funeral
Sure.
home there. They would
Yeah,
probably they would
if
probably
there's one
know.
in the area, they'd probably know about it. And if not, it's just simple Google search.
Now, under most jurisdictions, I guess there'd be some ordinances against it. I know there is here where I am at. You can't just go to your local park and dig a hole and put the cremains
No,
in the hole because they would
no.
freak out.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can't just go to your backyard, and just if you got it big enough and your laws allow it, you could bury them in the backyard
Yeah,
underneath the
thousands of
tree
people are. Yeah,
or
people that do that, they don't, there's nobody to ask permission. So
yeah,
they
but I
just
mean, you
go
still got
do
to
it.
get
Yeah.
permits and all that stuff for a backyard burial.
For a full burial, sure. You bet
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah. But cremations, you could just walk out into the
Yeah.
backyard and dig a hole
Yep.
and plant a tree in from it. But
Or
the
out on their
creme,
favorite walking path in the woods, or
sure. And
out
nobody would know
on
the
their
difference.
favorite beach. Yeah.
nobody would know the difference unless you advertised it. And if you're going to
Right.
advertise it later because that way they're already down and
Yeah.
nobody can freak out. Don't do it
And
when
there are
people
certain
are.
people that must get permission from somebody.
Yeah.
And there's always a Barney Fife out there that's gonna, I
Yeah.
know he's gonna try to find a regulation that's gonna prevent it. Don't know, ain't gonna hurt him.
But cremated remains are not going to help. It's not going to hurt the plant, but it's
No,
not going to help
that's
it.
not gonna help a plant. But a full body that's not embalmed would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's going to decompose and
Yep.
what elements
But you
we
want a very
have.
minimalistic, you want a very minimal casket, either cardboard or, at the most, plywood type casket, not a big heavy duty steel casket or
Yeah,
anything like
because
that.
under most circumstances, they're not going to let you dig a hole and just put you in the ground. Now, I don't know if green cemeteries will allow just the body in it,
They might
because
allow
that
just
to
somebody
me,
wrapped in a sheet. That's possible, but you just have to check with that cemetery to see what their minimum is
yeah,
for that.
because that's to me is what a green cemetery, what a green burial would be. It would be
Yeah,
just basically you, and I mean, obviously, they're not going to take an unwrapped or unclothed body and just put
yeah.
it into the ground. But there's going to be some modern material in there with it. But to me, a
It
green
has to be
body is.
something. You have to be placed in something to be
Yeah.
handled. It's just not, I mean,
And that would be whatever the local or state laws
mhm.
require, because one state could say, yeah, you can be just wrapped in a sheet. Another, like Michigan, I believe Michigan is you have to be in an approved, state approved container.
Really?
You know?
Because in
Yeah.
Georgia, it's all county to county.
Yeah.
It's not at
Yeah.
state level.
Yeah.
But
No,
there
no,
may
I'm
be
not
some
an
state
expert.
laws. There might be some state laws that apply too, but most of it's just done by the local
Yeah.
county
Not
and
being an expert, but that's what I've heard, you
yeah,
know. And you know what assuming means, right?
yeah, yeah. I do.
Go make an ass out of you, not me.
Don't you ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big